Hi, and welcome to MRC University. Today, we're honored to have Liz Ann and George from GoVA Foundation. GoVA is a financial education platform for veterans and their family members. It features some really cool interactive tools that'll bring to light ways to adjust your financial planning and decision making. Before we get started, don't forget to hit like and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thanks. Well, I was completely blown away when you first shared the Edge platform with me. I was amazed. I loved it. I knew I wanted to get you guys on here to share it with other veterans. Can you walk us through what makes this platform so different?
Yeah, I was so excited when we were developing it, and I know that it is a unique tool for our community. So there's a few things that stand out about the Edge. First, it does use AI technology to tailor an experience for every user. So this is the dashboard that a user would see when they arrive on the Edge, and it's going to be tailored for them based on their personality, the questions that they've answered, and the financial topics that are relevant to their stage of life and what their family is currently experiencing. So you always have your next activity here in this blue box. You'll have monthly tasks that you can accomplish to help you explore more of the resources. And then on the bottom of your dashboard, you get almost this Netflix style experience where, based on what you have read before or the topics that you have said are interesting to you, you're going to get recommendations for content and articles and videos that you can check out. So what I love about the Edge is that it's really interactive. We have a great library of financial topics. And then we also have some really in-depth courses where you can explore budgeting and understanding, credit cards and 529 plans for your kids and a lot of big challenges that military families might be facing. And it gives you these great interactive tools that you can apply to your own family's situation. And some of the courses you can navigate through as if you had done other online training. There's going to be different modules. You have to complete one module before moving on to the next. But you'll see it's a nice blend of videos and personalized information, interactive exercises. So they keep you engaged and help you learn and walk through the journey. So I will show you the topic library, but I'll go ahead and let George talk about his favorite parts of the platform too.
I love the interoperability. I love that the more you integrate and play with the platform, it helps you be more or specific with your goals, because there's a lot of information there. It can come off a little bit overwhelming. But most importantly, too, it's important to note that it's a safe space for our service members and our veterans to shore up. We don't collect a lot of data. We don't do advertising. You're not going to be looking at a credit card course and then just get blasted with a bunch of credit card offers, unlike commercially maybe available, kind of tools. So it's a good place for veterans to securely look at information, really address their goals, learn who they are, what money is to them, which we'll get into here a little bit later. More importantly, know that you're just not going to get a ton of spam mail just by interacting with the platform. And it's free. It's free for our service members.
Which is awesome. I love that. So can you walk us through how, when someone first logs in, how they would create their own personalized financial journey?
Yeah, that's one of the best parts of the Edge. It's not a one size fits all recommendation. We don't just post, static blog posts that might be outdated within a month, but instead we want to have constantly updated content that feels very relevant and specific to the user. So it always begins with your financial assessment, which would be prompted in the blue box when you first join the platform. And it's about a 5 to 10 minute quiz, not asking anything about your bank account, nothing about your credit cards, just asking generic information about, what are the financial topics that are relevant to you. And then depending how you've answered that, instead of being overwhelmed with, maybe the huge amount of topics that you can choose from our library, we have almost 100 different financial topics covered and 1,000 resources. And that can feel really overwhelming. As exciting as it is to be able to offer that depth of content to our military community, we don't want people to feel frozen and not know what to choose. So you can certainly explore any category on your own. But if you wanted to get recommendations that are tailored for you, then you can click on the ones that are on your dashboard. And we wanted to highlight specifically for our veterans, we do have information on the platform about finding a career and doing job interviews and building your resume. And then there's also a very popular category about entrepreneurship, which has been useful to our military spouse and veteran community. Information about starting a business, scaling it, growing it, understanding your taxes. So when you go to a topic, you'll see these getting started guides up at the top. That's a great place to get started and learn about the vocabulary and the terms that might be used in that financial category. But then you can also just dive right into the content. So we want financial education to be a long-term, ongoing process. It's not a one and done solution. And every time you return to the platform, you should be seeing new recommendations that are tailored again to you. And you can also check out your own recommendations tab at any time and jump into the content that you like. And it'll show you, I want to watch some videos, and it'll let you do that.
And they would also encourage the service member and their spouse to create accounts, because even though finances is a family thing, both those people, the individuals, will have their own kind of money assessment. So it's really beneficial to understand who you are as an individual. And then if you do share finances and goals with a spouse, you can see where your strengths and weaknesses complement one another. And you may just have also some different financial interest areas as well. So it's tailored that way. But then as our married couples, our spouses and service members can kind of work together with their accounts to strengthen each other as a family unit.
Awesome. So the part that I had a love-hate relationship with was the money personality assessment. We've taken lots of personality assessments over the years, but this money assessment was eye-opening. Can you walk us through that?
Yes, it is one of the popular sections of our website. And so you can find the money personality under the mindfulness tab. And the mindfulness tab exists because we know that there is such a connection between your financial health and wellness and your overall health and wellness. And you really can't improve one without the other. If you're getting, if you're going to the doctor and doing your checkups and getting your physical health under control, that's probably going to reflect on your financial choices as well. And vice versa, if there's a lot of negativity related to financial stress, if you're constantly staying awake and worrying about what your next financial options are going to be, that's going to impact your physical health. So there's a few ways that we help with that on the Edge. And one is definitely the money personality. This has been really popular with our military and veteran users. And the idea behind it is realizing that, there's not a one worldwide view of what money is worth and how we like to spend it or save it. Everyone has different preferences. And the reality is that we all grew up in different environments, whether for better or for worse. Some of us have had trauma associated with money or not having enough, or living with people who were overspending. And we all bring these pros and cons of our emotional money views into adulthood. So the money personality assessment looks really in depth for each user with just a few questions to understand your own outlook on life, on money. Are you future focused? Are you present focused? Are you more of a spender or a saver? And then it's going to tailor some recommended content for you, because we can't just tell everyone, that you should be saving more. Just don't spend money on Starbucks and all of your financial problems will be solved. That's not going to work for a lot of people. And so we want to give the messaging that's going to speak directly to you and to your style of spending and saving.
Yeah, the most important thing I think a user gets out of here is the subconscious aspects of money, the things you tend to spend or not spend on just without even thinking. And it's interesting to know, just based off of how we all lived our lives and our own individual story, how that can impact people. Lizanne, she'll show you her demo account here, and I am a 180-degree different money personality than Lizanne. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, like, I thought it was pretty accurate. But when you have that in front of you, and this is why these types of assessments are so important, like, it gives you just a little bit better understanding. And finances isn't a thing. You'll hear Lizanne say it, that improves overnight. It takes some discipline, time, and consistency. So when you know those core factors that affect your decision making, you can start to make those small changes today and then implement those into better financial habits.
Awesome. So once we go through, we get our money personality, then what?
So I can show you, these are my results of the Money Personality Test. So it does give you these 5 different areas. And I think there are 4 different personality types in each area. So you can see there's a lot of different combinations. It's not just there's 2 ways to look at money. So based on these 5, you can explore the recommendations that make the most sense for your personality. There's going to be tools in the Edge that work very well with that personality type. There's courses that will really play to your strengths and help you enhance what you're already doing well. And then there's content that can also help you to look at your weaknesses and help you understand more in the areas where you've traditionally not performed well with money or made great choices, so that you can recover better from them. And again, this is completely free to use. So we want users to return to the platform regularly. And it shows you if you're beginning in a level of high financial stress, that can be very indicative of other physical and mental and, larger family challenges. And we want to reduce that stress for our military and veteran families. So the financial stress score helps you decide, how much am I worried about my finances? How much are they impacting my day-to-day life, my relationships, my work? And what can I do to change that? I can learn more. I can research these topics that I'm worried about. If I've been wanting to buy a home for years, do I really understand how mortgages work and what I can afford and how to calculate interest rates? And by learning in those categories, you can see what your options are and what might be available to you, and kind of a path forward so that you can take that next step towards your goals and your dreams.
It also gives you an idea on how to focus, because finances are massive. There's a million different topics. Our library is filled with all of them. It'll help you pinpoint those friction areas in your financial health that need to be addressed. That's why all these tools, as they come together, makes the Edge so powerful. You understand you as the individual. You can then learn about what is it about finance and money that's really causing you stress and heartburn. And then you can use these tools to game plan. How do I understand that? How do I come up with a plan for it? And then how can I go and execute it and bring that score down? So if you're taking these tests, monthly, and you're really engaged, like, you should see your stress score start coming down, because it's more than just learning, it's enabling you to take action.
Awesome. So for veterans and veteran family members that are getting ready to transition, how could the Edge specifically help them?
Yeah, there's so many challenges, having just gone through that in the last year or so. Some of the choices in military life, the service member is making for themselves. And then when you come to something like transition and retirement, it's really the entire family being impacted together. And for the first time in your adult life, you might actually be able to make choices about where you want to live and what type of job you want to have. But you also have to make some of these messy choices that typically the military has either handled for you or walked you through, such as life insurance and health insurance. There's so many options that veterans can choose, and I'm grateful for those options, but it can also be really overwhelming.
So for our Mission Roll Call community and all of our followers and listeners today, how do they get started?
Yeah, the best way to get started is to just register for the Edge, and I can leave that link in the show notes for you. It is, again, completely free to the service members, the veterans, and the spouses. So it's an exciting way to just dive into your finances and start exploring. You'll have complete access to everything that we looked at today. You'll get that money assessment personality option. You can start tracking your financial stress score and exploring everything on the platform. We do verify the military status on our registration form, so you'll see options for your military branch.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz and George. We really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing the Edge and the GoVA platform with us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Mission Roll Call. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends. As always, thanks for joining us today. Mission Roll Call is the first of its kind. We are a nonpartisan movement that gives our community an opportunity to speak on issues that are most important to them. We partner with our network of veterans, their families, supporters, and veteran service organizations to advocate for positive change in the lives of all veterans. And MRC University is our YouTube channel, dedicated to providing content to help veterans and their family members thrive in every aspect of their lives after service. Thank you.